The giant hall of the Galactic Council was silent. Billions of alien citizens across the galaxy were watching the live broadcast. Bright lights shone on the center stage where representatives of hundreds of species sat in curved rows. Everyone waited for only one announcement, an announcement that would change the future of the galaxy forever. At the center, behind a high crystal desk, stood the council speaker. His voice was heavy as he read the final line of the judgment. Humanity is hereby banished from the Galactic Council. The words echoed like thunder. Gasps spread across the hall. Some aliens whispered in fear. Some whispered in anger. But all of them stared at the human delegation, standing quietly on the lower platform. 3 humans stood there, calm, silent, and completely still. They did not shout. They did not argue. Their faces did not show fear, only a strange, cold confidence. A tall alien guard moved closer and spoke sharply. You've been given one standard week to leave all council space. But the human leader did not even look at him. Her eyes remained focused on the crowd, as if she was studying each species one by one. Her steady gaze made even the fearless warriors of other races shift uncomfortably. No one understood why humanity showed no reaction. No one understood why their faces had no defeat, no pain, only a quiet fire. The council speaker continued harshly. Humans are unpredictable. Humans are dangerous. They refuse control. They refuse limits. Their technology grows too fast. Their spirit grows too wild. The council has spoken. The hall was filled with heavy silence again. After a long moment, the human leader finally stepped forward. She looked up at the thousands of watching representatives. Her voice was soft, but every word felt like a blade. Your choice is made. But remember this, your fear will have a price. The aliens shifted nervously. What price? An insectoid ambassador snapped. The human leader simply smiled, a calm, unsettling smile. One day, you will understand. And with that, she turned around. The human delegation walked toward the exit, without looking back even once. No anger, no desperation, only that same quiet, burning confidence. The doors of the council hall closed behind them. The broadcast ended. But the galaxy did not forget that smile. The first rumors. In the following months, alien news networks exploded with theories. Are humans planning a war? Why did they look so confident? Did the council hide something? The council tried to calm everyone. Humans are gone, they said. They will fade. They will weaken. Their exile is the end. But people remember the old stories. Stories of humans fighting impossible wars. Stories of humans surviving where no species could survive. Stories of humans pushing limits no one else dared to touch. Some species believed the banishment was necessary. Others felt it was a mistake. But none truly knew the truth. The disappearance of Earth. One quiet night, every stargate connected to Earth suddenly shut down. Every beacon turned off. Every known path to human space vanished. It was as if Earth itself had slipped into the darkness. Scouts sent to observe reported strange readings. They saw huge energy signatures, but no ships. They saw burning trails across asteroids, but no attackers. They saw star systems sealed by invisible barriers. It felt like humanity was building something massive, something secret, something far beyond council understanding. A young alien explorer named Zira discovered old recordings from the day of Exile. As she watched the human leader walk out the hall, she paused the video right at the moment the leader smiled. It was not the smile of someone defeated. It was the smile of someone preparing. Zira whispered to herself. They knew. They were ready long before the council even voted. She felt a cold wave travel through her body. The forbidden transmission. 300 years passed. The galaxy changed. New alliances formed. Old empires collapsed. The council grew weaker over time, but still held its power through fear and manipulation. Most species slowly forgot humanity. But then, one day, a signal arrived. It was weak, broken, distorted, sent from deep inside the dark regions where no ships traveled. Council officers tried to hide it, but rumors spread instantly. Every species wanted to know what the signal said. After many hours of cleaning the audio, only one clear sentence emerged. A calm human voice spoke as if addressing the entire galaxy. If we return, the stars will tremble. The room filled with panic. Was the message real? Was it a warning? Was humanity alive? Or stronger? No one knew. But one thing was clear. The exile was not the end of humanity. It was the beginning. 300 years had passed since humanity vanished into the dark edges of space. New generations were born on alien worlds. New problems rose. New wars came. New enemies appeared. Life moved forward. For many species, humans became nothing more than stories told to children. Stories of creatures who fought too hard, learned too fast, and refused to kneel. Most beings believed humans had faded away like dust lost in the solar winds. But the galaxy was wrong. Very wrong. Because small signs, tiny strange things, kept appearing like whispers of a ghost that refused to die. Strange events in the outer belts. The first report came from the Tillin miners. They were tough insectoid workers who lived on cold metal moons and feared nothing. But their emergency report shook the entire council outpost. Their message was simple. Something huge passed by our mining zone, and we did not see it coming. When asked for details, the miners explained that their radar suddenly shut down. Their sensors froze. Their machines stopped working. And then, like a shadow crossing the sun, a giant shape moved silently in the darkness. No lights, no sound, no heat signature. Just a massive outline, almost the same shape as a human warship from old drawings, but far, far bigger. The council dismissed the report, calling it a sensor error. But then the second report arrived, and the third, and the 10th. Different sectors, different species, same message. Silent ships, no signature, impossible size, unknown origin. The council grew tense. But publicly, they laughed and called the sighting superstition. Privately, they were terrified. The historian who saw too much. In a small research moon, far from political centers, lived an alien historian named Recco. He was young, curious, and had one habit the council disliked. He asked too many questions. Recco found old files about humanity, files sealed since the day of exile. Most were damaged, but some fragments survived. He found a video clip of Earth days before the banishment. It showed thousands of humans loading giant machines into floating platforms. The machines looked like engines, but much larger than anything known in the galaxy. In another clip, human scientists were seen entering underground chambers with glowing blue walls. The chambers seemed alive, breathing, pulsing with energy. But the most shocking file was a simple sentence written in an ancient human code. The Silent Forge is awakening. Recco frowned. What is the Silent Forge? No record of it existed anywhere. But deep inside him, he felt the weight of those words. They did not sound like fear. They sounded like preparation. As he studied further, he replayed the Exile Day recording. He zoomed into the human leader's smile, slow, confident, unreadable. And suddenly he understood. Humans were not surprised by the exile. They were waiting for it. Recco tried to report his findings to the council archives. But that night, 2 agents visited his lab. They did not knock. They entered quietly. Their voices were cold. Your research is no longer allowed. But why? Recco protested. The galaxy deserves the truth. Their answer was simple. Truth can destroy peace. The agents erased his files. They sealed his lab. They threatened him with charges. But they forgot one thing. Recco had already memorized everything. And he knew the council was hiding something far bigger than the exile. The survivors of Sector 77. Sector 77 was a quiet region. No wars. No pirates. No storms. But one day, a refugee ship stumbled into a trade route. Damaged, burning, barely alive. Rescue teams boarded and found a single survivor, a trembling reptilian captain. His first words were chaotic. They came from the dark. They destroyed the pirates in seconds. Their ships didn't make sound. Not even light. Just shadows. The rescuers asked who attacked the pirates. The captain whispered, I think they were humans. Everyone laughed, but the captain continued, voice shaking. No, you don't understand. These were not the humans from old stories. These were something else, something stronger. Their ships looked like they were made of light and metal at the same time. They moved without engines. They changed shape in battle. Are you sure? A medic asked. The captain nodded slowly. When they left, I heard one word in my radio. A single word. What word? The captain swallowed hard. Return. The rescuers went silent. Dark rumors spread like fire. Soon, across the galaxy, strange stories began to rise. Stories of empty battlefields where entire pirate fleets vanished, but not a single dead body was found. Stories of moons with giant scorch marks, like something powerful had tested weapons there. Stories of unknown symbols appearing on satellite screens. Symbols that looked human but older. The council tried to stop these rumors. But fear spreads faster than truth. And deep inside every citizen's heart, one idea began to grow. What if humanity never died? What if humanity was becoming something more? What if they were waiting for the right moment to return? Recco, sitting alone in his sealed lab, whispered a line he saw in the old file. The silent forge is awakening. He did not know what it meant, but he knew one thing. The galaxy was not ready for what was coming. The galaxy never expected the first real sign of humanity to appear in the quietest place possible. A peaceful trade convoy was traveling through Dark Region 9, a zone known for silence and empty space. No planets, no stations, only cold stars and drifting dust. The convoy belonged to the gentle Lura species, famous for their calm nature and slow ships. They had never seen war. They had never fired weapons. For them, space was a place of music and trade. Their commander, a soft-spoken being named Kala, was enjoying the calm journey when something strange happened. The stars vanished, not because of darkness, but because something enormous had blocked them. Kala blinked, thinking the ship's windows were malfunctioning. He tapped the control panel. Nothing changed. The stars were gone, completely gone. Then his sensors crashed. One screen after another turned black. Power readings dropped to 0. His crew froze in terror. Commander, the ship is not responding, a navigator cried. Kala tried the emergency engines. No reaction. The convoy was drifting, powerless, blind. And then they saw it, slowly, silently, like a sleeping titan waking up, a shape big enough to swallow cities. It moved without engines, without sound, without any visible technology. It didn't look like a ship. It looked like a moving shadow carved out of the universe itself. A sound that wasn't sound. Kala pressed a distress signal, hoping something would transmit. But instead, his speakers crackled with a deep vibration. Soft, controlled, steady. Not alien, not mechanical. It felt human. His crew stepped back as a voice spread through every ship in the convoy. A calm, emotionless voice. A voice with perfect clarity. Do not be afraid. You are in human space. The words echoed like thunder in the silent bridge. Kala felt a chill roll down his spine. Human space? But humans disappeared centuries ago. No one had heard their language spoken for generations. Most young aliens didn't even recognize English. But Kala knew. Every species knew those old recordings. A crew member fainted. Another whispered, "They're back, they're really back." The shadow fleet fully appears. Slowly, more massive shadows awaken around the convoy. At first, they looked like dark mountain shapes. But then glowing lines began to appear, thin, bright, and controlled, forming patterns across their surfaces. Not random patterns. Symbols, marks, designs that looked like flags and letters from ancient Earth, but evolved into something more powerful. One ship carried a glowing crest shaped like a roaring lion made of light. Another showed a rising sun symbol across its hull. Another had a simple message. United Human Armada. Kala could not believe his eyes. The human ships were not metal. They were something else. Almost alive, changing shape, shifting gently like they were breathing. Every alien scientist for hundreds of systems would have fainted at the sight. Human contact protocol. Kala's heart raced. He stood up slowly. What should he say? What if one wrong word made these giants angry? He took a deep breath and spoke. This is Commander Kala. We are peaceful. We have no weapons. We request guidance. There was silence for a moment. Then the human voice returned, calm, almost kind. We know. We have monitored your species for decades. You are safe. The crew looked at each other in shock. Monitored for decades? Humans have been watching? Quietly? Silently? All this time? Kala swallowed hard. What do you want from us? For the first time, the voice carried emotion, sadness or maybe warning. We want nothing from you, but the council will soon want everything from us. Kala didn't understand. What does that mean? He received no answer. Instead, the giant human ship slowly moved aside, clearing a path for the convoy. Then the voice spoke one final time. Tell your leaders this message. Humanity has returned. The communication cut off. The galaxy goes silent. When the convoy finally reached the nearest station, every communication channel exploded. News anchors screamed. Politicians panicked. Scientists fainted. Soldiers demanded answers. The galaxy had one question. Is the human armada real? The convoy recordings were played over and over again. The shadow ships. The glowing symbols. The calm human voice. Many species refused to believe it. Some called it fake. But then satellite stations detected something strange. Thousands of energy signatures forming a line across the edge of known space. Not alien signatures. Not council signatures. Something older. Something stronger. Something human. The council tried to shut down the broadcasts, but it was too late. Across every planet, billions whispered the same words. Humanity has returned. And in a dark room, the historian Rekko watched the footage again and again. The Silent Forge, she whispered, is awake. Panic spread across the Galactic Council like wildfire. Every screen in every chamber replayed the same terrifying sight. Human ships, massive, silent, alive, returning. Some leaders trembled. Some denied. Some shouted that the footage was fake. But deep inside, every one of them felt a cold truth. Humans were back, and the council had a secret older than the Exile, older than the council itself, a secret that could destroy everything if revealed. The emergency meeting. The council hall doors slammed shut as the leaders rushed inside. For the first time in centuries, the hall was locked from the inside. Guards stood stiff and afraid. The grand speaker rose slowly. We all saw the recordings, he said. The human armada has returned. Murmurs filled the room. The reptilian empress hissed angrily. They should have been gone. They should have died in exile. Why are they back? A cold, sharp voice answered. Because humans don't die easily. The speaker turned. Counselor Varn, an elder being with silver skin, stood up. His eyes were heavy, full of old memories he wished he could forget. He whispered, this day was always coming. All eyes turned toward him. He sighed, shoulders sinking, as if carrying a burden for centuries. It is time, he said softly, to tell them the truth. The buried history of the Silent Forge. 300 years earlier, before the exile, before the lies, humanity found something ancient near a dying star. A machine, a weapon, something not built by humans or aliens. A star core engine capable of shaping energy at galactic scales. Humans named it the Silent Forge. Unlike other species, humans did not try to use it. They hid it. They sealed it. They guarded it from everyone because they knew the galaxy wasn't ready. But the council feared something else. If humans could understand the Silent Forge, humans could become unstoppable. And unstoppable humans were a threat. Not because humans wanted war, but because humans would no longer follow the council. Varn continued. We voted to exile them not because they were dangerous, but because they were becoming too strong, too smart, too united. The room froze. Several leaders lowered their heads in shame. Others clenched their fists. The insectoid governor screeched. So we lied to the galaxy? We told them humans were unstable, when the truth was that they were evolving. The speaker nodded slowly. It was the only way to keep control. Not everyone agreed with the lie. A young counselor, Mira from the gentle Luma species, stood up angrily. We destroyed their reputation. We erased their discoveries. We stole their research. We forced them into exile. Her voice shook, and then she whispered the question no one wanted to ask. What if humans never forgave us? The hall fell silent. The message they could not hide. A terrified guard rushed in, interrupting the meeting. Counselors, we have a new transmission. Everyone turned toward the giant screen. A line of text appeared. Only one line. We know what you did. Gasps filled the room. The speaker shouted, "Where did this come from?" The guard swallowed hard. The source is unknown. The signal is from outside map space. It could not be blocked or traced. Counselor Mira whispered, "They're talking about the exile, about the silent forge." Varn closed his eyes. They were always watching. They knew we were lying. They knew the truth from the beginning. The factions formed. Fear broke the council apart. Factions began to form instantly. The peace faction wanted to open communication. Believe humans may forgive. Believe truth could save them. The war faction wanted to attack first. Believe humans were coming to destroy everything. Pushed to activate banned weapons. The neutral faction waited to see who would survive. Planned to switch sides at the last moment. Arguments exploded like lightning. They will crush us if we do nothing. No. If we attack, we start a war we cannot win. They have thousands of ships. Our fleets cannot match them. We must apologize. We must hide. We must fight. The speaker slammed his hand on the table. Enough. We must choose. Do we face humans with truth or with weapons? No one answered, because no one knew what humans wanted. Recco discovers the final secret. Far away, in a sealed research lab, the historian Recco continued studying stolen fragments. One file remained locked behind layers of old encryption. He bypassed the first code, then the second, then the third. At last, the final file opened. It contained a simple message, written by a human scientist centuries ago, written just days before the exile. Recco's hand shook as he read it. If the council betrays us, activate Phase 0. The forge will awaken. Humanity will survive, and the galaxy will change. Recco felt his heart stop. This wasn't exile, he whispered. This was a warning. Suddenly, alarms rang across the lab. Council security was coming. Recco grabbed the message and escaped through a maintenance hatch, because he now knew something the council feared more than anything. Humanity did not return for revenge. Humanity returned with a plan. The galaxy had seen fleets before, massive armadas, war machines built by the proudest empires. But no one was prepared for what appeared on that quiet rotation day. It began with a tremor in deep space. Not a quake, not a signal, just a slow pulse like a heartbeat. Across thousands of star systems, satellites picked up the same strange reading, a rhythm too steady to be natural, a rhythm that felt alive. In the ruined system, a young astronomer named Selak was the first to witness the impossible. His telescope captured a dark shape forming between two suns. At first, he thought it was an asteroid cluster. But asteroids don't move in perfect formation, and asteroids don't glow with white lines that pulse like veins. Selak zoomed in. His breath caught in his throat. What he saw was not one ship, not one fleet, but an entire wall of vessels, stretching across space like a continent carved from metal and light. Each ship was different. Some looked like spears, some like wings, some like massive shields, but all carried the same emblem, a glowing crest of a rising sun and 3 orbiting stars. Selak whispered the ancient word he had only heard in stories. Humans. The entire galaxy watches. Within minutes, every news channel, every military network, every civilian screen showed the same footage. A formation of thousands of human ships emerging from dark space. They did not appear through gates. They did not warp in. They simply materialized, as if they stepped through the fabric of the universe itself. The largest ship, shaped like a silver mountain, moved forward. Its hull shimmered like liquid metal. Its structure changed slightly with every second, adapting, growing, breathing. Alien fleets across the galaxy scrambled in fear. Prepare defense lines. Charge weapons. Evacuate colonies. But no human ship fired. Not even once. Instead, the mountain-like flagship broadcast signal. A calm, powerful message spread through every receiver across Council space. We return not for conquest. We return for justice. Billions stopped breathing. The voice was unmistakably human. Steady, commanding, and deeply confident. The Council panics. Inside the Galactic Council hall, chaos exploded. The surrounding major routes. They've cut off our long-range gates. They're everywhere. A military leader shouted, "Activate all battle fleets. We must fight." But the speaker shook his head. Look at the recordings. They have not attacked. They are blocking routes, not destroying. Another counselor whispered, trembling, "They want to talk." Varn, the elder who knew the truth, rubbed his forehead. "They don't want war," he said. "They want the truth revealed." But the war faction exploded with anger. "We will not kneel to humans. We attack now." They launched a secret order to deploy a hidden strike fleet, a dangerous decision they would regret. The strike fleet attacks. In the shadow of a red star, 120 Council warships formed a spear formation, their targeting systems locked onto the nearest human cruiser. The order was simple. Fire. Hundreds of plasma missiles shot forward. Energy beams tore through space. Aliens expected an explosion. Fire. Destruction. But instead, the human cruiser did nothing. It didn't dodge. It didn't shield itself. It simply allowed the attacks to hit. The result shocked every watcher. The missiles dissolved before touching the hull. The beams bent around the ship like water around stone. Not deflected. Not blocked. The attacks were ignored, as if the ship did not recognize them as threats. The cruiser sent no warning. No retaliation. No anger. But then, slowly, gently, it emitted a soft pulse. The entire strike fleet shut down instantly. Engines dead. Weapons dead. Power drained. Ships drifting helplessly. A single human message appeared. "Do not force us to harm you." The galaxy froze. The High Commander speaks. Suddenly, the massive flagship opened its communication tower. A hologram projected across the entire galaxy, visible to every species, every home, every soldier. It showed a human in a long, dark uniform, standing tall. His eyes glowed faintly with a strange blue light. His presence alone carried authority. He spoke. 300 years ago, the Council lied. They called us dangerous. They said we could not be trusted. But the truth is simple. He raised his hand. Images appear behind him. Recordings of the Silent Forge. The human scientists try and protect it. The Council's secret vote for exile. We were banished because we grew too strong for the Council to control. Shock waves rippled through the galaxy. The High Commander continued. We did not return for revenge. We returned to stop the corruption. We returned to protect those the Council failed. The hologram shifted. It showed peaceful human colonies, thriving in dark space. Cities built inside asteroid rings. Ships grown from star metal. Then his final words shook every world. We offer the galaxy a choice. Stand with truth, or stand with those who fear it. A new dawn, or new war. Across thousands of worlds, people ask the same question. What happens now? Some species burned Council banners. Some prayed. Some celebrated. Some prepared to fight. But one thing was certain. Humanity was not a lost species anymore. Humanity was a rising force. A force strong enough to rule the stars. But choosing not to. For now, the galaxy had never been this silent. After the human High Commander revealed the truth about the exile, billions of beings across thousands of worlds stopped whatever they were doing and simply listened. The message spread like a shockwave through every star lane. The Council lied. Humans were innocent. The Silent Forge was real. and humanity had returned stronger than anyone imagined. But while some worlds cheered and others trembled, one group did not stay quiet. The war faction of the Galactic Council. They did not want truth. They wanted control. And control required one thing: destroy the human armada before the galaxy believed the truth. White medium star, the secret weapon of the Council. Deep inside the forbidden military vault known as Sector Ironfall, engineers activated a weapon that had been hidden for centuries. A weapon the Council had sworn never to use. A weapon designed not for war, but for extinction. It was called the Null Star Cannon, a device that could collapse energy fields, erase shields, and tear apart space around a target. 3 massive cannon platforms rose from the metal moon. Bright red lights began to pulse, feeding power into a star-core reactor. The war faction commander hissed, "Fire as soon as the humans are within range. Humanity must fall before their truth spreads." His voice trembled, not with fear of humans, but fear of losing power. White medium star, the first shot. The human armada moved with calm precision around Council borders. They did not charge. They did not threaten. They simply held formation, like guardians watching the stars. Then, the Null Star Cannon fired. A beam of pure collapsing energy shot across space. It screamed through the void like a dying universe. It hit the human cruiser in the center of the formation. Planets felt the shockwave. Stars flickered. Space rippled. The galaxy gasped. But humans did not fall. The human cruiser absorbed the energy, every last drop, like rain vanishing into desert sand. Then the cruiser released a soft pulse of white light. Not a weapon, not a counterattack. A harmless wave. The wave hit the Null Star Cannon control platform. Instant shutdown. Engines dead. Weapons dead. Life support disabled. Systems zero. Every Council soldier floated helplessly inside drifting ruins. There were no casualties, only silence. White medium star humanity responds without hate. The human flagship transmitted a message to the Council. "We disabled your weapons without harming your people. We will not destroy you, but we will not allow corruption control the galaxy." This shocked the galaxy more than any weapon could. The humans had the power to turn moons into dust, yet they used only enough strength to stop the attack. Billions of aliens whispered. They could have killed everyone, but they didn't. Humans are stronger, but kinder. Maybe they really came for justice, not war. For the first time, the galaxy began to trust the return of humanity. White medium star, the Council's collapse begins. Inside the Council Hall, everything fell apart. Peace faction leaders demanded surrender and open negotiation. Neutral faction members switched sides instantly, desperate to survive. War faction leaders shouted in chaos, "You fools! If we bow now, humans will rule the galaxy." Counselor Mira stepped forward, her voice strong. "Maybe they should. They don't use their power to destroy. They use it to protect. Something we forgot long ago." Crowds across the hall applauded. War faction soldiers received orders to arrest peace faction leaders, but the soldiers refused. Some even turned on their commanders. The Council was breaking from the inside. White medium star Recco reveals the final truth. In the middle of the chaos, historian Recco fought his way onto the Council broadcast stage. Security tried to stop him, but dozens of citizens blocked the guards. "Let him speak. He knows the truth. Show us what the Council hid." Recco activated the stolen human file. A hologram filled the hall. The ancient message from a human scientist before the Exile. "If the Council betrays us, activate Phase 0. The Forge will awaken. Humanity will survive, and the galaxy will change." Gasps echoed through the hall. Recco turned to the crowd. Humans never wanted domination. They wanted protection for everyone. They had the Forge so no one, not even themselves, could misuse it. But the Council feared losing power. So they lied. They exiled humanity. They nearly destroyed a species that tried to save us. Tears fell from Myra's eyes. Even some war faction leaders bowed their heads in shame. The truth was out. There was no stopping the collapse now. White medium star, a new threat, a new dawn. Suddenly, a deep alarm roared across the building. A council officer screamed. A massive energy storm is forming at the edge of the galaxy. The hall froze. Rekko whispered, "That is not a storm. That is the silent forge activating." Mira turned pale. Humans didn't awaken it. The galaxy did. But before anyone could panic, a final message arrived from the human flagship. Stand down. Stand together. The next phase begins now. The galaxy realized something shocking. Humanity did not just return to reveal the truth. Humanity returned because something even greater, something ancient, powerful, and dangerous, was waking. And only humans understood it. The silent forge awakened like a sleeping god opening its eyes. Across thousands of systems, stars flickered. Space rippled like waves on a dark ocean. Energy fields trembled across the galaxy. Every scanner, every beacon, every sensor lit up with the same impossible reading. A cosmic structure is activating, older than the Council, older than any known civilization. Panic spread instantly. What is it? Is it a weapon? Is it alive? The Council could not answer. No alien empire could explain it. Only humans knew, and because of that, the galaxy needed them more than ever. White Medium Star, the human flagship, enters the Forge Zone. The immense human flagship moved forward, leading the entire armada toward a rising storm of energy. Thousands of human ships glowed with blue-white light as they synchronized with the Forge pulse. Inside the flagship, the High Commander stood silently, watching the energy waves. A younger officer asked, "Sir, should we activate defensive protocols?" The commander shook his head. "No, the Forge does not attack without purpose. But if it fully awakens uncontrolled, the galaxy may collapse." "Then why did it awaken now?" the officer whispered. The commander looked at the cosmic storm with calm eyes. "Because truth always awakens old power. Because the galaxy finally learned what was hidden. Because justice has weight even across stars. White Medium Star, the Galactic Council, admits defeat. In the council hall, peace faction leaders stood before the galaxy. They declared, "We have failed. We lied. We broke trust. Now we surrender authority to a new alliance, one that includes humanity." War faction leaders tried to resist, but were overwhelmed by the public. Across the galaxy, citizens chanted, "Let humans lead. Let truth guide us." And the council old rule. Never in history had so many species agreed on anything, but fear of the silent forge united them, and trust in humanity's strength and mercy held them together. White Medium Star, the forge opens. As the human armada reached the storm, a doorway formed. Not a gate, not a wormhole, but a massive opening in reality itself. The silent forge revealed its true form. A colossal star-sized machine built from pure cosmic metal, shaped like a rotating ring of light with millions of shifting layers. It was beautiful, terrifying, ancient. A voice echoed across human ship networks. A recording from humanity's past. If the Forge awakens, guide the galaxy. Do not let fear rule. Do not let power corrupt. Stand as protectors, not rulers. It was the voice of one of Earth's last scientists, preserved through centuries. The High Commander closed his eyes, honoring the old vow. White Medium Star humanity acts, not with war but wisdom. The Forge emitted massive energy surges, threatening to destabilize nearby star systems. If it kept rising without control, billions could die. Human engineers and AI constructs connected to the Forge's outer shell using living metal bridges. Their ships linked together, forming a stabilizing grid. Alien fleets arrived too, but kept distance, watching with awe. One alien admiral whispered, "They're not trying to control it. They're calming it." Rekko, watching from a refugee ship, whispered, "That is why humans were different. Not because of power, but because of responsibility." White Medium Star humanity saves the galaxy. Slowly, the Forge's wild energy began to settle. The storm shrank. The waves smoothed. The cosmic tremors softened. Humans directed the Forge into a dormant, peaceful state, not shutting it down, but guiding it gently like soothing a giant beast. Alien scientists stared in disbelief. How did humans do this? How did they understand the Forge? The answer was simple. Humanity evolved in exile. They had 3 centuries to study mysteries the galaxy had forgotten. 3 centuries to grow stronger, yet wiser. The High Commander addressed the galaxy once more. The Silent Forge is safe. The danger is past. We did not save it for ourselves. We saved it for all of you. Every world watched with tears, pride, and awe. White medium star, a new age begins. The council was dissolved. In its place, a new alliance formed, the Stellar Union. Humans did not declare themselves emperors. They did not demand planets. They did not claim tribute. Instead, they accepted only one role: protectors of the stars, guardians of peace, guides of the Union. The rising sun emblem of humanity became a symbol of unity across galaxies. Alien children grew up hearing a new message. Humans were exiled, but they came back to save us. White medium star, the final scene, humanity's message. As celebrations erupted across countless planets, the human flagship hovered silently above the Forge. The High Commander stepped forward and sent a final message to the galaxy. His eyes were calm, his voice steady, his words unforgettable. We were never dangerous because of war. We were dangerous because we refused to kneel. And now, we stand not above you, but beside you. The galaxy cheered. Stars shone brighter. A new era began. Humanity had returned, not as conquerors, but as rulers of the stars, without becoming tyrants.